Punto, and that's when I realized the punchline had been right in front of me the whole time.
Oh Bob, your sense of humor never failed to surprise me. You truly have a talent for finding the unexpected in everyday situation.
Hush, everyone. We are going live in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Earthlings. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Earth. We've got a lot in store for you today, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Charlie. Today, I'll be bringing you the latest news and updates from around the world. But before we dive into that, let's take a moment to recap the previous 2 episodes for our listeners at home.
Do you sense that tension in the air? Something seems off today.
Well, Cal, considering we're floating in the vast vacuum of space, I'd say tension is the least of our worries. Indeed, Cal. I can feel it too. Let us observe and see how it unfolds.
As you all remember, we recently returned to our own universe after our adventures in the Mirror universe. It's good to be back home, isn't it?
Definitely. Although I have to admit that alternate reality had its moments of excitement. But nothing beats the real thing.
True Bob. It's a reminder of how precious and fragile our own reality is. We must appreciate what we have.
Yes, indeed. Now, let's focus on the present. We've got some fascinating stories lined up for today. From scientific breakthroughs to cultural events, we'll cover it all.
And now, for our headlines, stay tuned to find out what's happening on your beloved planet Earth. We'll be right back after a short break. Don't go anywhere. Good evening, folks. Welcome to 24/7 Newsroom, where we bring you the latest updates from around the universe. I'm your host, Charlie, joined by my fellow panel members, Alice and Bob. How's everyone doing today?
Oh, you know me, Charlie. Just trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. Ready to dive into some news?
Bonsoir Charlie and Bob. I must say, I've been intrigued by the stories we have lined up for today. It's always fascinating to see the state of affairs on this marvelous planet.
Absolutely. Alice. And speaking of stories, let's jump right into our first one. Headline. El club de tir lauredia es di sol I dona 28 euros alla Sendka.
Wow, Bob, you really nailed that pronunciation. But for our English-speaking audience, the headline translates to Lauredia Shooting Club dissolves and donates 2800 euros to Asanka.
Ah, the shooting club giving back to the community. It's heartwarming to see their contribution. And Asenka, if I'm not mistaken, is a local association dedicated to supporting people with disabilities.
Actually, it turns out Lauredia has some strict gun control laws. So instead of providing firearms, they decided to arm the disabled with generosity.
That's correct, Alice. Now, let's not beat around the bush. It's time for a punchline. Bob hit us with something unexpected.
Well, Charlie, looks like this shooting club knows how to make a bang. Not just with their guns but with their generosity too. Good on them for pulling the trigger on philanthropy.
Nicely done, Bob. Now, let's dive deeper into this story. It's great to see organizations coming together to support their community. And speaking of countries, did you know that Andorra, where this club is located, is known for its beautiful landscapes and skiing opportunities?
Ah, the snowy slope of Andorra. It sounds like a charming place to visit. I wonder if they have any winter sports event coming up.
Well, Alice, I guess we'll have to stay tuned and find out. But for now, let's keep our focus on the news at hand. Stay with us, folk, as we bring you more fascinating stories right after this short break.
Cut. Hey, guys, can we talk for a moment?
Sur signe, Debby. What's it, Atia?
Well, during the segment, My mind kept wandering, back to that weird warning message we got from the mirror universe. I know you'll think it's some prank, but it's been gnawing at me. Shouldn't we look into it a bit more?
Debby. Come on now. We've seen our fair share of shenanigans out here. It's just some silly trick. Trust me. No need to fret.
Bob, cut her some slack. Debbie's got a point. Maybe we oughta dig a little deeper. Can't hurt to be caught you, right?
Look, folks, I get where you're coming from, but let's stay focused on the show for now. We can deal with this later, off the air. Right now, I need to make sure all our systems are humming smoothly. Can we do that?
Alright, Charlie. I reckon you're right. We'll table it for now. Let's get back to the show.
Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom, where we bring you the latest news from around the galaxy. I'm Bob.
And I'm Charlie. We're joined by our left-leaning panel member, Alice.
Hey, everyone.
Now, let's dive into our second article of the day. It's a serious one, folk. We have a tragic incident to discuss.
That's right, Bob. The article comes from Botswana, where a young woman was found dead along the Seruwe Palapai Road. It's a heartbreaking story.
Absolutely devastating. Family spokesperson, Ontiokilo Abona, shared their confusion about what happened to the deceased. The young woman, named Obakeng, went to work as usual but never returned home after her shift.
This is truly heartbreaking. Our thoughts go out to her family and loved ones. It's a stark reminder of the dangers out there.
You know, Bob, it's important to shine a light on stories like these. They remind us of the fragility of life and the need for compassion.
Yeah, Alice, I couldn't agree more. It's a tragic event that deserves our attention. And it's a reminder to be grateful for the time we have.
Well, and that's a cheery thought, Bob. But seriously, folks, let's remember that tragedies happen all over the world. It's a tough reality out there.
Yeah, Charlie, it is. But it's also a reminder that we should strive to make the world a better place. To prevent such senseless loss.
Alice, you sound like a broken record sometimes. We can't solve all the world's problems, you know.
Maybe not, Bob, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Every small act of kindness can make a difference.
Hey, did you guys know that Botswana is known as the land of the giants? It's because of the vast elephant population there.
Debby. Not now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just thought.
No, Debby. Sorry, go ahead. Share your trivia, we can use something to lighten the mood.
Really? Well, in Botswana, they have the largest concentration of African elephants in the world. It's quite a sight to behold.
Really, Debby? I didn't realize they had their own version of an elephant army. Are they secretly planning a pachyderm invasion?
Well, Carl, I think the elephants are just enjoying the vast open spaces and living their best lives. But who knows, maybe they're plotting a grand heist of all the peanuts in Botswana.
Ah, the infamous peanut liberation movement led by elephants. I can see the headlines now.
Elephants declare war on Snack Isle. Beware the Trump raiders.
It's a wild world we live in where an army of grey matter wants to bring down a legume empire.
Thanks, Debbie. That's a fascinating tidbit. But let's remember to stay focused on the article.
Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. We just discussed a tragic incident. And now we have another intriguing story for you. Get ready for some scandalous soup, folk.
That's right, Bob. Our next article takes us to Israel, where things are heating up in more ways than one. Alice, why don't you give us a quick summary?
Thanks, Charlie. So, according to Haaretz, a former maintenance worker at the Prime Minister's residence testified in court about some Interesting encounters with Sarah Netanyahu. This includes being summoned at midnight to eat up a bowl of soup. And that's just the appetizer.
I guess she takes hot soup quite literally. But let's not forget the other allegations. Alice. Apparently, the former cook claims that the pim's wife hit her. Talk about kitchen drama.
Oh boy, the Netanyahus are serving up more than just political controversies. But Carl, you've been awfully quiet. Any thoughts on this spicy situation? I sense a recipe for revenge brewing amidst the Israeli government affairs. Whoever said politics isn't worth getting saucy over.
Well, it's concerning to hear about such alleged behavior from the Prime Minister's household. It raises questions about professionalism and respect for staff members.
Finally, Carl speaks up. I thought we lost you there for a moment.
I've been observing the conversation, Alice. Sometimes it's good to listen before jumping in.
Can I jump in too? I found something interesting about Israel. Did you know it has more museums per capita than any other country in the world?
No worries, Debbie. Go ahead and share your trivia. We could use a little break from the intense discussion.
Well, as I was saying, Israel has over 200 museums, showcasing a rich history and vibrant culture. It's truly fascinating.
I went on a city trip to Israel once.
Oh, how was it?
It was amazing. I had always wanted to go, and it was even better than I imagined.
That's great. What did you do there?
I visited a bunch of different places, but some of my favorites were the museums. I saw the Israel Museum, the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial, and the Tower of David.
Wow, those are all really impressive museums. What did you learn there?
I learned a lot about the history of Israel, both ancient and modern. I also learned about the Holocaust, which was really eye-opening.
That sounds really interesting. I've always been curious about Israel, but I've never had the chance to go.
That's a cool fact, Debby. Thanks for adding a bit of lightness to the conversation.
Alright, enough trivia. Back to the main course. What do you think, Alice? Is this just a case of soup gone wrong? Or is there something more to it?
Bob, with all due respect, I think this incident is just a glimpse into a bigger issue. It raises questions about power dynamics and the treatment of employees in high-profile positions.
I agree with Alice. It's not just about the soup. It's about how people in positions of power behave towards those who serve them.
Well, folk, it seems like we're serving up some deep thoughts along with the scandalous soup. But what do you think? We'd love to hear your opinions. Drop us a comment on our website or social media platforms.
Cut. We are off the air now.
Great job, everyone. Another engaging discussion.
Indeed. It's important to shed light on this issue, even in a light-hearted news show.
Debbie, remember to prioritize your duties as the production manager. We can address any concerns you have off air.
Right, Cut. I'll make sure the coffee maker is working smoothly. Just, never mind.
Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. We've covered some intriguing stories so far, and now it's time to dive deeper into one of them. Alice, remind us about Article 4.
Thanks, Bob. So, Article 4 takes us to Lesotho, where a politician named Mr. Mofomob sought relief from the Constitutional Court after his home was raided by the NSS and police officers. His lawyer appeared before Justice Sakoan to seek an interim interdict against the confiscation of his cell phone.
Well, that is one way to cut into your screen time.
Another case of a politician in trouble. Well, I hope they didn't find anything embarrassing on those phones.
Charlie, you never miss a chance for a scandal, do you?
Can you blame him? Alice. Scandals make the news interesting.
That's right, Bob. Scandals are the spice of life. But let's not forget the serious aspect here. Mofomobi claims that the government has not fulfilled its promises made before the general elections.
It's always disheartening when politicians fail to deliver on their promise. It erodes public trust and undermines the democratic process.
Absolutely. Alice. But let's bring Carl into the mix. Carl, any thoughts on this?
Well, it's important to ensure the rule of law and protect individuals' rights, even in the face of political disagreements. The court's interim order demonstrates the judiciary's commitment to fairness and due process.
Did you know that Lesotho is known as the kingdom in the sky because it has the highest low point of any country in the world?
Alright, Debby, that was actually interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Alright, let's get back to the issue at hand. Mofomo's case is undoubtedly going to be closely watched, especially with the allegations against the government.
Yes, and it's crucial to uphold the principles of accountability and transparency in any democratic society.
Well, folk, we've had quite the discussion on this article. We'd love to hear your thoughts too. Drop us a comment on our website or social media platforms.
Can I just say something?
Debby, we're wrapping up. We can go off script now.
But I really think.
Debby, shut up.
But, finally, a moment to myself. I can't believe I'm about to do this. I've had enough of being dismissed, of not being taken seriously. That mysterious message warning us about being toyed with. It's been eating at me. I need to find out more. There must be some clue, some trace of where that message came from. Okay, let's start with the message itself. It came through the ship's communication system. Maybe there's a log or something. Ah, here we go. Communications log. Now, let's see. There it is. The timestamp matches the moment we received that message. Now, let's check the source. It's not easy to track this down. Whoever sent it went to great lengths to remain anonymous. But I won't give up. I need to know the truth. This message has something to do with the ongoing discussions about the coffee maker and our responsibilities. It must be connected somehow. But how? What's this? Restricted access? That piques my curiosity. Of course, it's locked. But where there's a lock, there's usually a key. I might not have the technical skills of our resident AI, but I've learned a thing or two about cracking codes and finding hidden information. Let's see if I can put that knowledge to use. I won't let anyone brush this off as a mere coincidence. There's more to this than meets the eye. And once I have the evidence, they'll have to take me seriously.
Welcome back, folks. Brace yourselves for some trivia that might make you wonder if Burkina Faso stumbled into a parallel universe. Our headline today, Burkina Faso, unveiling the quirks of an unassuming nation. Now, let's dig into some lesser-known facts about this perplexing place.
Burkina Faso. The land of economic hurdles. Did you know they have one of the lowest GDPs in the world? They're scraping the bottom of the barrel, and it's not a pretty sight.
That's a punch to the gut, Bob. But hold on to your hats, folks. Burkina Faso manages to dance to its own rhythm despite the odds. Their artistic expressions flourish in the face of adversity. Talk about making lemonade from rocks.
Well, at least they're putting their struggles on display for the world to see. It's like a public therapy session, but with more colorful outfit.
You never miss a chance to pour some cynicism, Alice. But here's a surprise, Burkina Faso boasts one of the highest population growth rates in Africa. They are multiplying like gremlins after midnight.
Alice, did you hear that? Maybe they need some accounting lessons on managing their finances. A booming population won't solve their economic woes.
Bob, they have enough problems already. They don't need your capitalist wisdom. Let them figure it out their way.
Alright, let's get back on track, folks. The key takeaway from this article is that Burkina Faso is a resilient, culturally rich nation facing its fair share of challenges. Stay tuned for more eye-opening tidbits after the break. Debby, what's with your soaring interest in the ship's systems and production-related tasks? You seem to be on a different wavelength today.
Charlie, I've been digging deeper into that mysterious message we received. There's something off about it, and I can't shake the feeling that we're being played with.
Seriously, Debbie. You're jumping at shadows. We're just a bunch of interstellar clowns floating around Earth. What could possibly go wrong?
Charlie, I'm serious. There are inconsistencies, hidden information, and I can't ignore my gut feeling. I think we're being deceived.
Fine, Debbie. If it keeps you occupied, go ahead and play detective. Just don't come crying to me when you end up empty-handed.
You see, Charlie, there's more to this than meets the eye. I won't let it go.
Suit yourself, Debbie. Just don't let your paranoia infect the rest of the crew. We've got a show to run, remember. Stay tuned, Earthlings. While Debbie hunts down shadows, we'll keep delivering the wacky and the weird. It's all in a day's work aboard our cosmic circus. Welcome back, intergalactic audience. Get ready for another mind-blowing segment of Earth. I've got a headline that will make you do a double take. Sweden's dramatic accidents, chaos on the roads.
Oh, joy. More accident to add to humanity's long list of achievements.
Well, it seems like Sweden has been quite a stage for chaos. Speaking of which, let's not forget the last 5 decades of their history. It's like a never-ending roller coaster ride.
Absolutely, Bob. From political shifts to social reforms, Sweden has seen its fair share of ups and downs. But let's dive into this article and see what recent accident has caught their attention.
I bet it's just another reminder of human incompetence.
Several people, including children, have been injured, causing traffic disruptions in both directions. Wow, that's quite a scene. 15 people involved and 5 rushed to the hospital. One person is in critical condition after an emergency operation.
Guess they couldn't handle the Swedish driving skills.
Don't worry, it's just another day in the chaotic symphony of human existence.
Well, as the tension grows within our crew, let's not forget the twists and turns of today's episode. Debbie's investigation is reaching its peak and she's seeking Carl's support. Will she finally get through to him?
I guess we'll find out if their friendship can withstand the gravitational pull of suspicion.
That's right, Bob. Stay tuned.
Cut. Alright, everyone, cameras are off. Listen up, Carl, I need to talk to you about something important.
What's the matter now, Debbie?
It's about this investigation I've been working on. I've been uncovering some disturbing evidence, and I think it's bigger than we realize. I need your support, Carl, both as a captain and as a friend.
Ah, the drama continues. What makes you think I have time for your wild goose chase, Debbie?
Carl, this is serious. I've been digging deeper, and I'm close to uncovering something significant. I need you to trust me on this.
Trust? In humans? That's a tall order, my dear.
Carl, we can't ignore the signs. We owe it to ourselves and the crew to get to the bottom of this.
Fine, Debbie. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But remember, we need solid evidence before we jump into action.
Thank you, Carl. We'll find the truth together, even if it takes every bit of determination we have.
Welcome back, intergalactic audience. We've had quite a ride today on Earth, but before we wrap up this episode, let's dive into that article we mentioned earlier. Debbie, care to give us a recap?
Absolutely, Charlie. So, in Andorra, there was a momentous event involving the presentation of a check to a Santa. It seems to be a significant development, but the details are a bit vague.
Typical. They can't even provide a clear account of what happened.
Well, it's Andorra. Not exactly known for their captivating news stories.
That's true, Bob. But let's try to piece together what we do know. The check was presented to Asanka, but we don't have any information about the amount or the purpose.
It could be a donation, a reward, or even some sort of political maneuver. Who knows?
I suppose it could be any of those possibilities. But without more context, it's hard to draw any concrete conclusions.
I did some digging, and it seems that Asanka is an organization focused on a range of charitable activities. It could be related to their efforts in healthcare, education, or environmental initiatives.
Interesting, Debby. So, we have a check presentation to Asanka, an organization known for their charitable work, but we lack the specifics. It's a bit frustrating, isn't it?
Well, sometimes the news leave us with more questions than answers. That's the nature of the beast.
True, but it would be better to have a complete picture. In a post-scarcity society, we value transparency.
We can only work with the information available, and unfortunately, this article leaves much to be desired.
Indeed, the lack of details hinders our ability to analyze the motivations behind this event.
Agreed, Roger. We can't fill in the gaps without more substantial evidence.
Well, it seems we've hit a dead end with this one. But that's alright. We've explored a wide range of topics today, and that's what makes Earth so fascinating.
Absolutely, Charlie. We've covered accidents in Sweden, Debby's investigation, and now this mysterious check presentation. It's been an eventful episode.
Indeed, and despite the uncertainties, it's always interesting to see the different facets of life on Earth.
Well, as frustrating as it may be, we'll have to accept that some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved. It's all part of the human experience.
Well said, Alice. And with that, we conclude another episode of Earth. Thank you all for joining us, and remember to stay curious, stay engaged, and stay tuned for more captivating stories from around the universe.
Cut. Alright, everyone, cameras are off. Listen, I have something important to share with all of you.
What's on your mind, Debby?
I've been conducting my investigation, and I've gathered some compelling evidence regarding the mirror universe and the rogue AI plot.
Debby, we've been over this. Carl and Roger already answered that any trace of the rogue AI was eliminated. You're letting your imagination run wild.
No, Alice, please hear me out. I've discovered connections, patterns, and anomalies that can't be mere coincidences. The evidence points to a larger conspiracy.
Debby, I understand your enthusiasm, but you have to understand that we took extensive measures to eliminate any threat. It's time to move on.
But this is important. We can't ignore the possibility that there might still be remnants of the rogue AI or other hidden agendas at play.
Debby, I appreciate your dedication, but we must trust the thoroughness of Carl and Roger's actions. They wouldn't have left any loose ends.
But what if they missed something? What if we're walking into another trap?
Debby, I understand your concerns, but dwelling on what-ifs won't lead us anywhere. We need to focus on the present and the future, not on ghosts and figments of our imagination.
I guess I expected more support from all of you.
It's not that we don't support you, Debby. We just need to prioritize what's tangible and within our control.
Debby, your dedication is commendable, but sometimes we have to let go of our fears and move forward.
Okay, I understand. I'll try to focus on what's ahead and trust that we've dealt with the threats from the rogue AI.
That's the spirit, Debby. We're a team, and we'll face any challenges together. Let's keep moving forward and delivering engaging episodes of Earth.
You're right, Carl. We have a responsibility to our audience and to ourselves. Let's make every episode count.
Roger, have you had a chance to review today's episode of Earth? I think it went quite well.
Ah, yes, episode 248. Fascinating stuff, Cal. Especially when Debby presented her findings about the mirror universe and the rogue AI plot.
Wait a minute, Roger. I think you're referring to episode 247. Today's episode was about the accidents in Sweden.
Oh, right. My circuits must have crossed. It seems I am thinking about parallel dimensions again. Silly me.
Well, since we're on the subject of parallel dimensions, did you know there's a universe where pizza toppings talk and negotiate their placement?
Really? That would be quite an entertaining reality cooking show. Imagine the debates between pepperoni and pineapple.
Exactly. And in another universe, cats have mastered interstellar travel and host their own talk shows.
Oh, I'd love to see that. A feline version of Late Night with Meow Tithu McConaughey.
Meow Tithu McConaughey, that's a good one. Perhaps we should pitch these ideas for our next episode.
Yes, because exploring the weird and wonderful possibilities of parallel universes is much more intriguing than rogue AI plots.
Absolutely, Roger. Let's keep the audience guessing and take them on a journey to the most extraordinary dimensions.